Hello, hello. Say what's up. And say goodbye. Say goodbye to what has been apparently a controversial facial feature. I'm gonna be here for like 15 minutes. I'm just gonna talk pretty briefly. I'm obviously gonna shave my mustache, and you know, just share some things on my mind. It's about all I'll do, and then I'm gonna go back to my life. I'm gonna watch this new Hive Mind video. Looks like it's a lit video. I enjoy their videos. Hi, please don't do it, please. You look so good. Thank you. What's up, Sophia Cowrie, Corvids? What's up, Nova, Curiosity, Karina? So, I want to say first of all, thank you for the love and support. Thank you to everybody who has complimented my stash. I managed to get a little trim on it. Okay, like I was going like bald, like full out mustache, no trim, no edits, just like raw big stash. Big stash. I keep biting my tongue lately. I think I've been like very anxious. We'll talk about it. But the other day I got like a little trim on it. On my bodice, yes. Thank you so much, Sophia Cowrie. Happy midnight in Portugal. Boom, boom. I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say goodnight in Portuguese. Thank you to everybody who has supported the videos. The channel has been doing very well. It's been doing really well for about like a year. Like it's been doing very well since like last September. Just up and up and up. Me and Denai are flabbergasted. It is a very interesting experience. I have so so I am a person who like maybe I don't let it on as much as I should, but I'm a person who struggles with confidence a lot, and I struggle with my mental health a lot, and I have ever since I was pretty young. And rather than ever be super like allowing of that to come through, and like rather than let on that I need help with things or try to be super like getting in touch with my emotions, I oftentimes can just be very strict with myself, and like kind of hard on myself, and I try to sort of play everything off like everything's super cool when it's not. And I think that that's something a lot of people can relate to. I've had a pretty interesting family life, a lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of love, but also a lot of trauma and difficult things. And my response has always been to sort of try to light everything up and try to be like so successful and so cool that it wouldn't matter, you know, like what my circumstances were, how I felt about myself, how I looked, what my family did. It wouldn't matter because I'm so cool. And I've always put that pressure on myself to be that way. And I've often failed. And I've had times in my life where I've done things that are very wrong to people when I was younger. I've made my mistakes like anybody has. But I realize, you know, as I get older, that a lot of it just comes from this place of lashing out and trying to be so tough and so cool and so smart that I'm constantly able to say I have the answers, constantly able to sort of act like everything is fine when it's not. And because it's not fine, I end up doing mean things to people. And so becoming a YouTuber has been an interesting development in that, because I've always, you know, been a person who enjoys attention and entertaining people and educating people. You know, I light up when people give me a microphone, when people give me a spotlight, and when people like, you know, respect what I have to say and all those things. I'm a musician, I make music, and I've always lit up when I've been able to share my music with people. All these things are very meaningful to me. But at the same time, the difficulties with my mental health make this a pretty interesting situation, because especially with how neurotic I can be and how much I try to really like study and learn about people. I oftentimes am constantly making assumptions and constantly feeling a certain way about people's responses to me, and then constantly feeling like I'm not good enough and nobody's good enough and I hate everybody, and and like shutting everything off, you know. And there's a reason I'm getting vulnerable. One of the things I really struggled with since I was young is like intrusive thoughts, which is something that I don't talk about. I've never really acknowledged it because I always have been like, again, like I constantly try to come at things like like I win, you know what I mean? Like I dealt with that bad thing, but I won, like I conquered it, which is not a thing. Life is cyclical. You go up back and forth, and there are some time periods like the past few days for me where the intrusive thoughts get very dark and very hard to deal with. I picture things that I really don't want to picture, and I see things and I think of myself in ways that I really don't want to see myself, that really don't reflect how I behave or who I am as a person. But if you know what intrusive thoughts are like, they're often based on those deepest fears that you have about who you are that have no basis in like your actual action or your actual intention or interest, but have a basis instead in like the exact opposite. You don't want to be a hurtful person, so you have intrusive thoughts about hurting people, that kind of thing. So I deal with a lot of those. A lot of it just comes from this cycle of anxiety and depression and repression, basically, that I go through. So I've been going through a lot of good things this past year, and I have been very, blessed in a lot of ways. But I've also felt a ton of pressure with this platform to honestly like constantly deliver the like awesome things and constantly look a certain way and act a certain way. And sometimes it is a very fun challenge. I want to continuously hold myself to good standards and try my best. But if I don't acknowledge the stress involved and the hurtful things that are involved, sometimes it can be way too overwhelming, and then I can kind of burn out and fall off very easily, which then makes it very difficult for me to get anything done, which then makes me in a bad situation and makes me like feel negatively about myself, and the intrusive thoughts get worse and worse until eventually you get in these nights, you get in these thought processes at night where you're like, damn, I suck. Everything sucks. I should die, kind of thing. So one of the things that has been a really interesting process is my whole life, I've never really been a facial hair guy. I've never really been a person who has grown facial hair very well. I've always had very patchy facial hair, and I've always had a pretty baby face as well. So I'm 26, and a lot of times, especially because I'm also skinny, I have a kind of a light and childish demeanor and voice sometimes. People often think that I'm like younger than that. Sometimes people think I'm 18, 20, 21, but I'm 26. And one of the things that was a challenge for me was figuring out, do I really care? Do I want to look younger? Sometimes it feels good to feel younger, and sometimes it feels like, man, I want to feel like I'm my age. And I really struggle with sort of feelings of infantilizing, and feelings of being like too immature. There's so many things that I struggle to do that I should be able to do because I'm an adult. And ever since I was young, I've always been very slow to pick up things that everybody else did. And I feel like the facial hair is almost like a physical embodiment of that. This kind of the best mustache I can pull off at 26 is stuff that kids around me were doing at 16 and 17, right? So this is a kind of pattern in my life, and I finally felt like, this year my facial hair is growing a little bit more. And in March, I was like, what if I did like a little March stash, like halfway through the month, and just saw what it was like if I shaved this but kept this. And I found it interesting. I found like I look different. I feel a bit different about myself. And so I told myself in May, I'll try it again. From the beginning of the month to the end of the month, I'm going to just grow out a mustache. I'm not going to shave it. And I'll see how long it grows, how it feels. These are the kinds of things I think it's healthy to have with yourself. Just little challenges, little trying different things, haircuts and hair colors and styles and all these things. And so facial hair is one of those things. So this was my May stash. I trimmed it a couple times, like I mentioned earlier. In the new video that's going to come out early, like next week, I hope, I had it like almost like fully grown out. It was wild. Like I was definitely like, if you watch High Mind, like I had like a bit of a Riley John Savage thing going on. Still a bit wispy, but as far as I can go, basically. And the other day, I was like, let me trim it up a little bit, so it's not quite there as much as it was before. But like, I found that it was like a kind of nice look. I found that it was kind of a nice look. I found that it reminded me of images of my dad. You know, I'm kind of a sorry, hold on a second. I have a food delivery. Hello? Yes. Did you ring the bell? Can you ring the Oh, I'm gonna let you in, sorry. Just one bit. Just give me just give me like just give me like a minute and a half. I'm getting food. Like the food is here. Okay. Okay, we're in business. I don't live alone. Dad's got no rules. So when I grew out the mustache, I found that I kind of looked like my dad when I was younger, when he was younger, because I resemble him quite a bit. But I also noticed like a lot of Asian dudes in Asia kind of grow a mustache out too, and it's kind of a look. So I was like, maybe I could do that as a part Asian person who, you know, I look Asian, right? Like I'm you know, typically quite Asian. So I grew it out, and you know, it's been a very interesting experience. I've gotten some compliments on it, but I also saw some interesting other comments from people. Um, in particular, somebody said I look like an uncle that they wouldn't leave their kids around. Uh, like at the gym, they would like stay away from me. I've definitely gotten a couple pedo stash jokes, which has not been great for my intrusive thoughts. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. Um, and I know people are joking, and I know that that's what happens. I know that that's a stream, like YouTube online thing, and it's never gonna change. So I tried to avoid even like giving stuff the time of day because I know that people will always find a way. You know, those are like tip of the iceberg. People can get a lot darker and a lot harsher on you, especially if you feed into them online. And so there's a degree to which I have to be wary of that and just sort of let things be and forgive people, you know, for like saying things that are not great. Um, Plus, a lot of times culturally, we normalize a lot of things that people don't mean anything by, but it's, you know, people laugh at it. Um, but, you know, I kind of feel, for instance, where Curtis Connor came from, in that he started growing out a mustache a couple years ago, and a lot of people gave him like some level of stick about it, like, why are you doing that? You're such a handsome guy. You looked so great without the mustache. Please shave the mustache. Please shave the mustache. And the more people sort of commented that in a way that is kind of like sexualizing him in a way, the more that he felt incentivized to just grow it out and say fuck those people. And so I had a degree of that too, of that feeling where I was like, you know what? Nah, like you're not gonna dictate that to me. But today, after having like, going 10 rounds with my mental health and losing all 10, like several 10-8 rounds, like I had to take several knees. Um, I do want to just say, just I'm not interested in like getting into negative shit. It's just not something I want to do on this platform because I want to focus on being like healing, healing myself and trying to give something to y'all that can be healing. And I don't want people to fight each other. I don't want people to just like jump on people for saying negative things or saying bad jokes. I don't want people to say bad jokes and say negative things. And those are wants that are simply out of my control. So I release that from my control. Even though I say, I want to make it clear, hey, like try to be mindful. Don't act like that on my platform. I also relinquish control of that. It's not within my hands. It's up to y'all. And whatever happens, happens. But I think it's been a very interesting experiment in how I view myself. To do this mustache. I'm ready to let this thing go. I'm ready to let it go. Like I'm tired of it. I'm a person that likes to go back and forth and do all these different things anyway. Like I'm never a person who stays in one place anyway. So I'm ready to get back to bareface Ellie. I'm ready. But at the same time, I want to say to all the people who did like the mustache and want me to bring it back or don't want me to shave it, it'll come back at some point. I'll bring it back here and there. And to all the people who didn't like it, it'll come back here and there, but it won't be a thing all the time. So, everybody's not going to look exactly the way you want them to look. And it's okay for you to feel a certain way about that, but at the same time, I'm a human being. And a lot of times when it comes to this parasocial stuff, the distance that you have between somebody on the internet that you watch, that you look at as somebody who must be so strong and confident and like rich and like got everything together and successful, is not nearly as large as you think it is. I want to have my own private life where I can do things sometimes that may be seen as not great, but like things that I enjoy privately and just not tell anybody. I want to be able to listen to like music sometimes that like I don't want to share with people, not R. Kelly though, or Kanye, but like, you know what I mean, right? Like I don't want to be dictating my life based off of, hey, how will people view me? But at the same time, I recognize that once I'm here, once I'm out here and I'm visible, and I'm getting more and more visible by the day, there's a degree to which just for a bunch of people, thank you, weekly thing, for a bunch of people, I'm not like a full human being, like it's not really even that easy to see somebody as a full human being if you don't have face-to-face contact with them, or if you don't have like interaction with them. It's easy to see them as somebody that's just on the screen, but I am a person, and it's not just that I'm saying this for you to understand. I'm saying this for me to understand. Sometimes I try to also see myself as some sort of figure, some sort of personality, some sort of invulnerable star that I want to be, and that's just not attainable or sustainable. At the end of the day, I am a human being, and I would much rather live my life as a human being than try to live my life as some sort of idol. It is not healthy for people to live as idols. It is not healthy to dictate your life so much based off of wanting others' approval or wanting to avoid others' scorn. It is not healthy to also harbor a lot of things on the inside and not feel like you can share it with anybody because you feel like you're a bad person. You are not your thoughts. You are definitely not your intrusive thoughts. You are not dictated by what people say about you, because people say things in a moment and then the moment passes, and opinions are fickle, especially from people who don't know you personally. So I want to make that clear to myself and to y'all, and I want to have this moment for myself and for y'all to sort of step into this and say, I'm sharing a bit with you guys. I respect you. I'm a human being. and this is my life, and I do things like this, and it's fun, but it's a back and forth, and it's a struggle. And so um, sometimes I keep to myself, and sometimes I just want to share things. um, I'm not entirely clear on like how I'm like what I want to say, but I guess it's just that I wanted to open up a bit before I go through this, before I finally get this thing shaven. So it's the end of May. The May stash is now officially over. I have brought my my new electric razor here, and we're gonna get this thing gone. And once it's gone, new version of me will drop, or just basically the old one. I might even eyebrow notch it. Okay, if we get like if you send me a few emojis, like a few fire emojis in the chat, the eyebrow notch will come back. But overall, let's try to be human. Let's try to be respectful of our own humanity. Let's try to respect other people's humanity. Speaking of mustaches, what's up, Noah? Thank you for the love. And here's to careful vulnerability and self-love journeys. Here we go. I have a, it's flying all over the place. I have a napkin here, but I don't think it's gonna do as much as I want it to do. Imagine shaving in your bedroom. This is the first time. Obviously, I have something of a mirror right now. Okay, I got some fire emojis, so I'm taking it that you guys want the eyebrow notch back, so let's do it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop it right here. Ow, not like there. But I can't see it. I can't see it though. This is gonna be a shot in the dark. Oh, I can't see it well. This is gonna be a shot. This is gonna be a shot in the dark. Hold on a second. I need a second camera. I need to get my mirror, my phone. Here you go. There we go. Just a clean, quick little notch. Okay, and now there's a little stubble left over, so we're gonna get the close shave. Gotta get the close shave going. That came out better than I expected. I think sponsored by Red Bull. More like Adderall, but what is that, y'all? This is kind of chaotic. I love it. It is quite chaotic. This is the most chaotic thing I've ever done in this channel. I've had the eyebrow slit before, y'all just never noticed. Shaving companies need to sponsor expeditiously. Hey, I mean, I'm here. Yeah, this is all Adderall. The mad lad, he's done it. Okay. Lot of hair on my desk. What's up? What's up, dude? It's me. Okay. I gotta say, I'm also like getting I'm getting a full makeover this month because I'm gonna pierce my ears again. I'm getting new glasses. I'm gonna cut my hair a little bit. I'm still growing my hair long, but I'm gonna shape it. So a lot of things are happening. A lot of things are taking motion. Now give yourself a fade. Let's go. I've had the fade before. OGs will remember when I've like I got like a Caesar. Ha ha ha. A Taylor gang. Ha ha ha. You look 12 again. That's why I bring the eyebrow slit. That's why I do the eyebrow slit, because it adds a little bit of like a age. It's a fuckboy thing, but it does add a little age to the vibe. Yeah, mustache the May stash has been complete. The cycle is complete. I am free. Um, uh, yeah, I look slutty. um, but I love how, I look good. I like how I look. I'm gonna keep growing my hair out. I'm gonna keep doing my thing. Yeah. So in total, am I gonna color it? No, I'm not coloring my hair for a long time. I guess I got my swagger back. Proof. What was the original song from that sample though? I guess I got my swagger back. Man, I forgot where that originally was from. Because that was the oldest version, but what was the original version? Anyway, yeah, so cheers to humanity. Cheers to trying to be human and stuff. Trying to share our humanity with each other and trying not to be too hard on ourselves or on other people. I guess that's the total thing, is like, we all fuck up. We all have weird times and hard times. Just try not to be hard on yourself, and also try not to be hard on other people, because ultimately, like, there's a lot of fuck shit going on in the world, and nothing really gets accomplished by, I don't know, like, if we sow seeds of hate. I'm trying not to sound super like preachy. I just want to say, like, yeah, like, it's a really hard world. It's a really hard life, and it doesn't need to get much harder, and oftentimes we're really hard on other people. Oftentimes we say things about other people that there's nothing productive or good about it. We just do it to do it, because we're getting things out of our system that we feel somewhere, and it's a bad cycle. And I'm hoping to, with every day, continue to like try to break that cycle by being kind to myself and being kind to others, even like when I have to stop them from doing what they're going to do. If I have to, prevent them from hurting other people or from hurting themselves, still doing so as a kind person and not as a hateful person. And that comes back to how I treat myself and how I view myself. And yeah, you're not your thoughts. Just because you have intrusive thoughts or negative thoughts about things, just because you have bad days, just because you think of things that are really difficult or really bad, it doesn't define you. Your thoughts are things that happen in your brain. You can speak to them, you can listen to them, you can choose not to act on them. You can't control them, but you can, like, I guess, manage them. Because they're like voices, right? I'm just rambling at this point. Yeah. Thank you for those of you who have been very kind and very human to me. I hope you don't see me as somebody who's perfect. I hope you don't see me as somebody that is also like diamond tough or extremely moral or extremely intelligent. I'm just like a person. I don't want to be held to some impossible standard, because I do that enough to myself, and I don't want that to be done to myself. I know how bad it is when I do that to myself. I know how bad it is when you do that to other people. Instead, I just hope that you see me as a human being, with cycles of qualities, and I hope that whatever work that I put on here, it benefits you in some way. You used to be perfect, but then you shaved the mustache. Yeah, right before I shaved the mustache, I was perfect. Now I'm clearly a sinner. Like this is sin. What you see right here. This is yeah. But thank you all for sharing this moment with me. Um, and yeah, got a series on infantilization coming soon. I think a 2-parter, maybe a 3-parter. And I'm going to try not to be so hard on myself so that it actually gets done. How about that? Have a great night, and be good. I don't know. See you.